All right, this video is going to take you through the set of circles and rectangles and squares that we did, or that you did by yourself on Tuesday. And I'm just going to pull up the instruction. Okay, so again, when you first start a new document, go ahead and save it. Click New to start, and then AutoCAD document, and then Save. So we're going to name this one SP dash and then your last name. All right, save. Yes. All right. Okay, the first instruction was to draw a rectangle that is 4 inches wide and 2 1/2 inches tall on the zero layer. We are currently on the zero layer. Every time you start a new document, it will go, or you will be on the zero layer, because that's the only layer that there is. If you see here, there's no other layer until we make one. Also, I almost forgot to tell you to go to the application menu and go to Drawing Utilities, Units, and change your units to Architectural. Okay. Now, the first one says to draw the rectangle 4 inches by 2 1/2. So I'm going to use the rectangle tool. Of course, you can draw this with the line tool, but it's so much easier and a lot less clicks and moves and stuff to use the rectangle tool. So specify the first point. Okay. Now my dynamic input, okay, which is the stuff right here, the gray box and the white box with the blue stuff in it there that keeps changing, that is your dynamic input. That's where we can put in the measurements and make our rectangle exact without having to drag the mouse and trying to get it exactly where it's supposed to be, which is very difficult. Okay, so we just type in here 4, number 4, and then the double quotation marks for inches. Then I'm going to click on the tab button to go to the next box, and I'm going to type in 2-1/2 inches. Okay, and you have to put that dash between the number and the fractional measurement when you're working in inches. Okay, and then I'm just going to click enter. So there is that first square. Now my second piece of instruction says to create a new layer and name it SPCIRC and color it blue. Make sure it is the active layer. Let's do that. Okay, layer properties, click here for a new layer, and it's going to be, what did I say it was, SP, okay, SP, and that's for Shape Practice dash CIRC for circle. Okay, and then I'm going to go over to the color column, click on the little box with the white in it, and I'm going to color it blue, and it could be any blue, doesn't matter. And click OK. Now I can close the layer box. And this is a circle, so I'm going to create my circle, and I want to create it dead center of this rectangle, and the instructions tell me to draw a circle within the rectangle that is tangent across the 2 1/2 inch height of the rectangle. All right, so tangency means that 2 of the sides of the circle are going to actually touch the walls of the rectangle. That's what tangent is all about. And to make sure that we are set up to do that, we're going to check some of our snaps down here. And I'm going to turn midpoint on. And I really don't need these other ones right now. I'll turn those off. Now I'm going to hover over here. What I want to do is find the exact center of the square. So I find the midpoint, and I'm not going to click anything, but I am going to drag down, and then I'm going to go over to the right and find the other midpoint. And as you see, it leaves behind those little plus marks right where I found those points. So I can go right here, and then that dotted green line will show up again, and then it shows up again here, and I actually snaps right to the middle there, so you can't go wrong. And then I draw my circle out, and of course I clicked to get the circle started. Okay, and I want it to be tangent, so I just want it to touch the the walls on either side. Okay. Now, oops, I forgot to make my blue layer active. Okay, so what we can do with the blue layer, we click here, click on that, and then change it to blue. All right, my bad, I missed that. Okay, the next set of instructions say create a new layer, name it SP line, and color it red. Make sure it is the active layer. Make sure it's the active layer, not like we just did a minute ago. Okay, so I need a line tool. Oops, first I need a layer. Okay, and click new layer. And this one's called SP-LINE. And I'm going to color it red. Red. And click OK. Now, to make this the active layer, I can do that right here inside of the layer box. And just click this little icon to the left of the new layer that you just created. And the green check mark comes on. It tells you that that layer is active. The other way to activate a layer is what you just saw me do a few minutes ago, where I went up here to the line, or to the line drop-down menu, and selected the particular layer. All right, so I need to draw this red line. So the same thing with the line. I want to find the exact center of that circle. Sometimes it'll just light up on you, but if not, just go up here and find the midpoint here, and then find the midpoint on the right hand side here, and now it locks right in the middle. And I draw it out, and it needs to be 3.5 inches long. So 3-1/2 inches. Okay, there we go. I hit escape to get out of that line command. The next one tells me, let's see, it says create a new layer and name it SQURGRN, and it would be done like this. New layer there. Okay, SQUR for square dash GRN. And as you notice here, I'm kind of using a format in naming anything from my layers to my actual files and everything else. And this is typically what you see. The SP here again stands for Shape Practice dash SQUR stands for square, and then green. Sometimes you can add an additional comment at the end here, such as I did with green, GRN. So that's green. I want to make that active. Okay, and then I can close the box. Now I'm supposed to draw a square that is 3x3. And of course, I'm supposed to also place it right here at the very end of that red line. The easiest way to do that is to go ahead and draw the square first and do 3 inches, tab. Oops, I did feet. 3 inches, tab, 3 inches, enter. Okay, I did something wrong there. Let me try that one more time. Okay, so again, square or a rectangle tool, but I'm going to make a perfect square out of it. Okay, let me change my color back. With my clumsy thumbs, I probably hit a button I wasn't supposed to while I was typing around. That sometimes happens, so you have to be very careful. Okay, so let's see, again, rectangle, we're on the green layer. All right, and 3 inches, tab, 3 inches, enter. Okay, now I'm going to move that square so that I can put it right there on the tip of that red line. And to do that, I'm just going to go up here to the Move tool, which is in the Modify panel. I'm going to click on it. I'm going to move to the square, select the square. It's telling me to select object, so I highlight the square like that, and I left click to select it, and then I enter to confirm that selection. Specify a base point. The easiest thing to do is specify the very center of that left side line of that square. Okay, and that's my base point, so I can drag it all around like that, and that also makes it very easy to get it right there on the tip, right there in the middle of that square. Okay, then escape to get out of those tools. Okay, I think I am done with layer creation. Now I'm going to use the mirror tool a few times. So the first thing I'm going to do is I want to mirror this shape over to here, and I want it to flip around and be just the opposite of what we have here. So click on the mirror tool, which is this triangle. It's like a back-to-back triangle, line going down the middle. Left click on it to start it. It says to select objects. I want to select all of these objects, so I'll left click and release, and then drag across all of the objects, and then left click again to make that selection. Press enter to confirm the selection, and it says specify first point of mirror line. Of course, it also has dynamic input, but we really don't need that right now for such a simple drawing. Later on, you'll probably find yourself using that. Okay, and as you notice, as I move the mouse, the cursor, that the shape twirls and stuff about that one pivot point, and then I just lock it in down here. Left click. It says erase source objects. Of course, I want it to be no. It defaults at no usually, unless you choose yes. Click enter, and that accepts that no. Now I'm going to mirror again. Again, just clicking on the mirror tool up here. All right, selecting objects. I'm going to select everything. All right, and then I'm going to press enter to confirm my selection. Specify first point of mirror line, which will be right here, and then mirror it right there on top. Okay. Now the next one is, and of course again it says erase source object, so I just press enter to accept no. I want to mirror it one more time. I'm actually going to mirror this one below it. Of course, if you were to mirror it above it, you would still end up with the same product, so it doesn't really matter. Another way to get back to that mirror command, I just used that mirror command twice. Now I can go in here and just hit the enter button, and it goes back to the most recent command, which if you look here down in the command bar, command line, it says mirror select objects. So I am in the mirror command. Selecting objects, I'm just going to select this one. I'm not going to select the top one, so I just want to mirror one of those and return or enter to confirm my selection. And then the first point of my line is here. I click on it, and then I drag to the left, lock it in right there. Okay, whoops, I forgot to do something there. So let me try that one more time. Enter to go back to the mirror command. And when you're dragging to select, like we're doing this selection with the window selection, you have to drag from right to left, okay, to get those things selected. If you try to go from this way here, it won't select anything, okay. Now that's on the window type selection. Okay, mirror, whoops. I think I was already there. All right. Select objects. I'm going to confirm my selection, specify first point, drag it over here, and now I have that thing. I press enter to accept, and there we go. There is the design. Okay, and it's just a simple pattern graphic. And that's it.